Hello and welcome to Essential Oils 101. My name's Di Shalevsky and I'm proudly presenting this content to you in the hopes that it helps you to understand how you can safely and effectively use your essential oils in many different ways every day, just as I do. As you can see from my collection behind me, I am absolutely a huge advocate for Young Living essential oils. They are a big part of my life. Love using my oils every day. And I was also a really big part of how I support my clients as well. So I'm a health coach and an iridologist, and oils are a really big part of how I support my clients both physically and emotionally as well. So I'd like to share with you as much as I can about how I use my oils and also some of the basics as well, particularly helpful if you're brand new to essential oils. I'll share as much as I can to get you going. If you are a member of Heal Thyself with Oils, I encourage you to post questions in the group that you might have whilst you're learning how to use essential oils. If you're not a member of the group, you're welcome to reach out to me anytime with questions. Okay, where I'd first like to start this presentation is by discussing the absolute basics of essential oils. And at the top of that list is essential oil quality. So I get questions all the time about what makes Young Living different to all the other essential oils out there. And so by sharing this information, you can then make your own decision about which oils you want to use as part of your health regime. So there are different grades of essential oils. So grade A, or therapeutic grade, I don't like to use those words too often because therapeutic grade is actually a coined marketing term. But in my mind, when I think of grade A, I think about therapeutic grade and I think about the purest grade possible. So understand that when you're looking at a label though, even though sometimes it might say therapeutic grade, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's grown organically, which is what it should mean. So if you want to know what questions to ask the essential oil company that you're thinking of purchasing from, here are some of the questions I asked Young Living. First question I asked was, tell me about the cultivation processes. I want to know what chemicals you're using on your farms. Next question I asked was, tell me about the use of solvents. Do you ever use solvents to extract your essential oils? The next question I asked was around sustainability and around waste, the wastage that comes off these farms. I wanted to learn more about that. I also wanted to know more about soil testing and air quality and irrigation systems. So in an ideal world, grade A essential oils, if you're talking pure essential oils, like Young Living, are grown completely organically. We never use any chemicals on our farms ever. It's a global policy. Never any pesticides, herbicides, insecticides, never any chemicals at all. We never ever use any solvents during the extraction of our oils. We never use any solvents at all on any of our oils. We do regular soil testing, air quality testing, and we filter our irrigation system. Our quality processes in terms of testing is incredibly second to none. It's exceptional, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. So when you're asking questions, when you're thinking about grade A, this is essentially what grade A is meant to mean, but there are some variations out there, which is why I shared those questions in the hope that you would then use those to do your own homework further, okay? Grade B essential oils are food grade essential oils, and they usually contain synthetic ingredients. They're usually created or cultivated with the use of all kinds of chemicals, and they usually have chemical extenders or a carrier oil. So you're not getting a full bottle of essential oil, you're getting part essential oil plus whatever else they want to extend it with. So a little later on, we're going to talk about culinary essential oils. And I get a lot of questions about ingesting oils. People say, oh, I don't think it's safe. I don't want to do that. Like, well, you've already kind of been doing it for a really long time. Food grade essential oils have been used for a very, very long time in a lot of commercially available food nowadays. Eucalyptus lollies are a very obvious and classic example of that. So if you've ever had a sore throat and you've had a lolly, lemon and eucalyptus, it's usually got lemon essential oil and eucalyptus essential oil, food grade versions of those oils though, okay? grade C oils are usually the perfume oils. You know, I remember the days when I used to shop at Myer and, you know, during my lunch break, I was working in the city for a really long time. During my lunch break, I'd sneak in and I'd spray myself with different oils. I loved it. At the time, I didn't know what I was really spraying. Now I know. So these grade C perfume oils are very, very high in chemical compounds. They're, you know, full of solvents, full of petrochemicals. They're diluted up to 90% with alcohol. You know, and it's not plant-based alcohol. We're talking petroleum-derived alcohol. So if you have a look at the chemical profile of some of these perfume oils, they are closer to petrochemicals than they are to the plants in which they're meant to be coming from. So I don't know about you, but I value my thyroid and my endocrine system. I don't want to be spraying chemicals on my thyroid, which is right here at the base of my neck. I don't want to be spraying grade C oils on my neck because I know that by doing that, I'm going to completely disrupt my endocrine system. And I'm very conscious of that. What I'd much prefer do is make my own perfume. You know, if you're here in Melbourne, reach out because we have perfume classes that we run all the time. We teach you how to make proper, oh my God, that's gorgeous, proper perfumes using essential oil. So this bottle could not be any simpler. All I did was I put 1 drop of rose, 4 drops of ylang ylang and 4 drops of jasmine, and I topped up with water. Just give it a shake before you use it because the oil does separate with the water. And spray it, and it's divine. And I'm supporting myself emotionally and physically because these oils are powerful, but also I smell amazing and I'm not poisoning myself and compromising my health. So if you want to learn more about perfume classes, if you're already a member of Heal Thyself with Oils, go ahead and post in the group. The group is there to support you. You have trained aromatherapists, certified aromatherapists in that group, and people who have been using essential oils for 20 years plus. So you have a wealth of knowledge in that group. If you're listening right now and you're not currently a member and you'd like to become a member, you're welcome to reach out to me or you're welcome to reach out for information about perfume classes. Okay, moving on. So grade D essential oils are floral waters. Now, Young Living do sell floral waters, but they are a byproduct of our pure therapeutic grade A essential oils. And I use these floral waters as spritzers. I absolutely love them. I actually also have some in my bathrooms to use as air fresheners. If you're going to be purchasing floral waters, you want to make sure they actually do come from grade A, pure oils, because they're the leftover water once the oil has been extracted. So you want to make sure that you're not left with all the chemical compounds or I should say that again, chemicals, period, petroleum ingredients in the water that's left over from a really crappy grade A processor. So you want to make sure that you actually are left with just all of the amazing water that have the natural chemical compounds from the amazing essential oils in which it's come from. So I hope that now you understand it's not a simple conversation. I get questions all the time. Hey, why can't I use this company? Or why can't I use that company? I'm like, well, you can, but just do your homework. Ask the right questions so that you're confident that when you're spraying yourself with perfumes that you're making, or, you know, you're putting essential oils on your wrist, you're not poisoning yourself with solvents and chemical extenders and the like, okay? All right, so now I want to talk to you about essential oil potency. So it's really important that you understand that essential oils can be up to 10,000 times more concentrated than the plant in which they come from. Right? They're very, very concentrated. So less is more. That's the golden rule when using essential oils. Now, just to kind of put that into perspective, if you think about what 27 square feet of lavender bushes look like, you can then understand the potency, because that's how much lavender it takes to make one single bottle of 15 mils of essential oils. Now, earlier I mentioned what waste goes on farms. And I'm very, very pleased to share that Young Living have a zero waste policy. So at the end of our our distillation processes, all the leftover material goes back into the soil and acts as fertilizer for the next batch. We have zero waste across all of our farms. It takes 450 grams of peppermint leaves to make one single bottle of peppermint essential oil, right? 450 grams, that's a whole lot of peppermint leaves, right? 1 drop of peppermint essential oil is equivalent to 28 cups of tea. Now, I often add peppermint essential oil to my hot chocolate, but I would not add a whole drop. I just find it's too strong. So instead, I use the toothpick method. You put the toothpick through the dropper and you kind of swish it so it gets the oil on the toothpick, and then you swish the toothpick through your hot chocolate. You can do the same with your water as well. And that way there's not a full drop going in. You're still getting some essential oil, but not a full drop. So that's definitely something that I do. If we talk about rose essential oil, it takes 10 kilos of rose petals, Damascus rose petals, to make a single 5 ml bottle of rose essential oil. So I'm lucky, I'm very blessed to have a bottle of rose essential oil. It's incredibly expensive for a reason, right? How much goes into every single bottle. It's very concentrated. In my, 100 ml, actually 200 ml bottle of perfume, this is 200 ml bottle of perfume, 1 drop of rose is all that's in there. It's just 1 drop is even too much. It's a lot. It's really a lot. So hopefully now you're starting to realize how potent these essential oils are, right? If we look at lemon uses the oil from 75 lemon rinds for a single bottle of lemon essential oil, which is fantastic to know. It's so powerful. Okay, let's now talk about extraction methods. So most essential oils are steamed distilled. Now, steam distillation is a practice that has been used for over 5,000 years. If you read the Bible, if you have a look at ancient Egyptian artifacts, Babylonian artifacts, you'll see that steam distillation was a very, very common thing. And 90% of our essential oils are steam distilled. We also use the cold pressing method. So for anyone listening right now, if you're a juice faster, for example, a Kuvings or a Mod press juicer would do. It literally squeezes the whole fruit and out comes the goodness. Cold pressing works the same way when we're extracting essential oils from the rind. We literally apply pressure and all the goodness comes out of the rind. We can apply pressure, so much more pressure than what you would do with a cold pressed juicer, but we're getting all of that amazing goodness out of the oil, out of the skin, of the fruit. So if you think about it this way, often I have people say, well, why would I use the oil when I can just use the fruit? I'm like, well, it's kind of a little bit different, because when you're using the fruit, you're getting all the juice out, and most of us throw the skin out. So this way we're using the whole fruit. There's no wastage, and there's benefits in the skin and there's benefits in the flesh of the fruit as well. So this way we're using the whole thing. It's amazing. So resin tapping is my favorite extraction method. Resin tapping is beautiful. So some of the rare and exotic tree oils are extracted using resin tapping. So frankincense, copaiba, and myrrh are just a few examples. Sandalwood is another one. So these oils are extracted very carefully, and the resin tapping process is done by hand. So essentially what happens is we have these very skilled arborists that work on the farms, and they make little incisions with scalpels, little incisions in the bark of the tree. And what happens then, because the tree is a living thing, the immune system responds. And it responds by creating resin or a sap over the top of that very small wound. Just in the same way, if we had a wound, our immune system would respond, and it would send blood to the surface of the skin to create a barrier so that we didn't bleed further. Same thing happens with these amazing trees. And I love that. I just love how Mother Nature is so intelligent. The tree knows how to protect itself. And so once that sap is formed and it hardens, it's then collected by hand and it's steam distilled. No harm is done to the tree. And obviously, the amount of frankincense that we produce is testament to that. We would never cause permanent or long-term harm to the tree, because then we'd shoot ourselves in the foot, wouldn't we? So you can rest assured that it is a completely harmless process. It's just a very natural thing that the tree does. When there is any intrusion or anything happening on the surface of the skin, the immune system responds, and that's just what happens. Okay, now just to recap why I personally advocate for Young Living. in case you have questions about our cultivation processes and our distillation processes. So like I mentioned earlier, we never use any herbicides, fungicides, or pesticides, or any chemicals at all ever on any of our farms. We never use any solvents. I did say that earlier. We use non-GMO seeds. We filter our irrigation system. We do regular air and soil testing. We test 1 part per billion parts. Every single bottle goes through 15 unique tests, and those tests are repeated 6 times. So 90 tests per bottle. So, you know, that was very impressive when I heard all of that. These are the questions that you should be asking whatever essential oil company you choose to support. This is why you pay what you pay for these oils. You get what you pay for. There is no better quality on the planet. Of that, I am convinced. I've done my homework. I've asked these questions of other big essential oil companies, and they've fallen very short. Okay, now let's talk about, well, how do we use these oils? And we'll talk about some safety things as well. So application. So first and foremost, you can use these oils aromatically, so in a diffuser. So I have 6 diffusers in my home. I really do. I have one in my son's room, one in my room, one right beside me in my office. And I have 3 downstairs in the lounge room, the kitchen, and in the bathroom. And I do that because, for starters, I love diffusing oils. It completely transforms the space. It energizes the space. It creates a really beautiful ambience, but also it helps to purify the air as well. You know, I've got two dogs that live in my home and a teenager, and that combination can get a little much too much sometimes. So I get my diffusers going all the time. It's beautiful. So depending on the size of your diffuser, like the Desert Mist diffuser that you see right there, you could put up to 10 drops in that. If you have the aroma diffuser, I've got one beside me, but I can't lift it. I'm just checking it. There's water inside, so I can't lift it, but it's the one with the glass dome. The glass dome I actually can lift. There's the glass dome. You can see the spout there is quite big, okay? So if you have one of these diffusers, which is quite big, then you could put 20 or 30 drops in your diffuser because they're designed for bigger spaces. But usually 10 drops is enough for the standard size diffuser. You can also put a couple of drops of essential oil on your hand. So I've got Surrender in my hand. I was talking about this blend to someone earlier, so it's still sitting beside me. It's just beautiful. So I just put 1 drop. You know, if you're trying to wake yourself up, peppermint would be a good option. Put 1 drop, rub your hands together to activate the oil, and then cup your hands over your nose and mouth, staying away from your eyes. And you could just breathe. What a way to wake up your brain. The vapor goes up the milia hair of your nose. It goes into the center of your brain. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. One of the best ways to experience an oil. Another way, you could purchase some spray bottles, some glass spray bottles. So here is one that I got from Target. It was $3, but actually just the other day when I looked, they had been reduced to $1. You can get them from Kmart as well. They're just glass bottles, 500 ml glass bottles. So you can buy some of these bottles and you can add a little bit of vodka or a little bit of witch hazel, whichever you've got, just to act as a bit of a shelf extender, preservative. Maybe put 20% of your bottle in there. So, you know, 500 ml bottle, you'd use 100 mils is even too much. 50 or 60 mils is enough. And then you could put in your essential oils. You could start with maybe 30 drops, top it up with water, give it a bit of a shake and spray and smell it. If it's not strong enough, add 10 more drops and keep adding until you get the desired result. So I have these glass bottles all around my house, as well as the floral waters that I mentioned earlier, and that's how I freshen my air, especially in toilets and bathrooms. Topically, so you can get really creative with where you apply your essential oils. It doesn't need to be complicated though, guys. You can apply to your wrist, inside your elbow. So the wrist and inside your elbow, they're the 2 places where the oils is absorbed quicker because they're the spots on your body where the veins are closest to the surface of the skin. So in terms of absorption, it's quicker. But if you're not fussed about that, you can put it on the inside of your thighs, on the nape of your neck, on your throat, behind your ears, on your heart chakra. You can get very creative with where you apply these oils. Wherever you apply them, they're going to work. So just let your intuition drive you. You can also apply directly to the VitaFlex points. Now, if you Google VitaFlex charts, you'll see that there are charts for the hands and charts for the feet. So you can get, very, very, what's that word I'm looking for? Mine's gone blank. It's been a long day. You can get very specific, very specific about your essential oil application, right? So for example, underneath your big toe, that part of your foot correlates to your brain. So if you're needing something to help you de-stress or get off to sleep at night, put some valerian underneath your big toe. Okay, because like I said, that's a part that correlates to your brain. But check out the VitaFlex point if that interests you more, and then you can see for yourself the different parts and how they relate to the different organs and the different body systems. You can apply essential oils to your chakras. So I always use my heart chakra and my crown chakra. So you can use those, so you can use any of your chakras. I just love the idea of putting oil on my heart. I love that. I use helichrysum a lot on my heart. Helichrysum is my most favorite single, and it is the oil of the heart. So you can apply it wherever you feel you need to apply it. Let your intuition drive you. Now, if you're going to use essential oils in your bath, don't just add the oil to the water in your bath, because oil and water don't mix. What you're better off doing is getting yourself a cup of salt, Epsom salts, whatever you have in the house, Celtic sea salt, doesn't matter, any salt. Put your oil in the salt, let it absorb, and then throw the salt in the water, and then the molecules will be dispersed evenly, and they won't sit on the surface of the water, and which can potentially cause irritation if you've got sensitive skin. You can also add a few drops of carrier oil to your hand and a couple of drops of essential oil. So, I do this often. I'm going to do it right now to show you. So I might use Aroma Seas. Aroma Seas is beautiful. So I'm going to do 1 squirt of V6. So I'm using a vegetable blend available through Young Living. V6 has got 6 different carrier oils in it, but you can use anything. You can use V6, you can use fractionated coconut oil, you can use olive oil, jojoba oil, whatever you have, it's okay. And then I'm just going to put, just 2 drops of Aroma Seas around my hands together. It smells amazing. I'm going to massage it into my neck. Absolutely amazing. It's a great thing to do for yourself after a long day. So I've been recording these training videos for a while now. So I've been sitting here for a little while. It's a really great way of just loosening the muscles. It's beautiful. Now you can actually create yourself a full bottle of massage oil. You can buy yourself a pump bottle. One of the companies that I use a lot of products from, here it is right here, is a company called Pack My Product. So you can see there, it's a pump bottle, right? So I have massage oil in here that I've created. So in that bottle, what I've added is about 20 or 30% of the bottle of the total volume. I've added magnesium oil. And then I've added some of my favorite essential oils like peppermint or wintergreen, or I can't remember what I put in that. I constantly use different oils, but Panaway, Cool Azul, they're great. They're great for your shoulders and for your back. Great massage oils. They stimulate circulation. They get blood flow happening, and they smell amazing. So you can choose whatever oils you like, and then top it up with a carrier oil, and then keep this nearby, and you can use it to massage into your legs before you hop into bed. Great if you've got restless legs, and it wakes you during the night. Usually restless legs shows me that there is a deficiency in magnesium. So if you add some magnesium to your massage oil on top of the essential oils and you massage to stimulate circulation, that's going to make a massive difference to how well you sleep. So you can either make the massage on the go like I just did. I smell amazing right now, by the way. It feels gorgeous on my neck. Or you can create an actual pump bottle. Okay, you can also create a spritzer or a perfume, like I mentioned earlier, perfumes. So again, I get my bottles from a company called Pack My Product. I have no affiliation with this company. I just love their bottles. packmyproduct.com.au. So this spritzer bottle comes from them. So does a pump bottle. You can buy little perfume bottles as well. So here's one little perfume bottle. It's only a 10 ml bottle. So you can create little spritzers, facial spritzers with any of these bottles. And all you would do is you decide, well, am I going to create a spritzer or am I going to create a perfume? And then you can decide, well, how many drops of oil should I use for that? Okay. So you can also create yourself a rollerball blend or a serum. Okay, serum, you know, again, these bottles, Pack My Product, you can create beautiful digestive serums, facial serums. So if you were going to make a rollerball blend, you would, you know, this is a 10 ml bottle. You'd put approximately 5 to 10 drops of any essential oil of your choice, and then you would top it up with a carrier oil. And again, you could use V6 or you could use jojoba oil or fractionated coconut oil. It's entirely your choice. Okay. What you could also do